And no, it's not OnlyFans. Good morning, guys. Welcome to my first ever YouTube video. In this video, I want to share my story and give you a peek into my life. So if you've been following me on Instagram, then you might know that part of that story is this pretty cool house that I'm living in right now. So what I want to do today is be fully transparent and explain how I ended up here and how I came from, living by myself at 15, 16 years old in this basement that was part of a bar in Europe, to moving to the United States by myself at age 19, living with 12 roommates in a bunk bed, to this $4 million home in the hills of Los Angeles. So besides it being an introduction, I also hope that it can be inspiring, because honestly, I'm really not that special. And if I can do it, anyone can. Let's take a look. First of all, the most important member of the family. This is my best friend Tank. So my story started in Spain. That's where I was born. I was born on Tenerife, which is an island. It's part of the Canary Islands of Spain. But I moved to the Netherlands when I was very young, I think 3 or 4 years old. And seeing and experiencing the United States has been a dream for me for as long as I can remember. I was raised by a single mom, which was honestly best mom in the world. She gave my sister and I everything that we needed, and she worked her ass off to make that happen. But as you can imagine, we weren't really able to live large. So I think that is what, made the United States and capitalism and big business always very attractive to me. So, plus I moved out when I was very young. I think I was 15, 16 years old when I lived on my own. And of course, budget was extremely tight those days. And that also reflected in the kind of places that I stayed at. So I think that made the desire to see the United States and to experience capitalism and all of the good stuff a lot stronger. So in this video, I want to share kind of like how I got into this country, how I entered the United States, and how I ended up where I am right now. And let me say that, I'm honestly not trying to give any life advice. I feel like I'm just getting started and I'm honestly not qualified to do that. But what I would like to do is share, how I ended up where I am right now, hopefully teach you a thing or two, or at the very least, inspire you to see that anything is possible in this life. So a little while ago, I posted on Instagram asking people what they would like to see on my YouTube channel. And a lot of people said, what you eat in a day. So what I'm gonna show right now is a breakfast that I eat literally every single day. And I've been doing that for years, which all kind of started when I was, when I first started out with fitness, and I was very skinny and it was tough for me to eat a lot of calories. So I decided to make smoothies, because with a smoothie, you can easily fit 1,000, 1,500 calories in just, one smoothie. And ever since then, I've continued to do it just because it's just so easy, and you'll see it literally takes me 3 minutes. So what I put in there is, first of all, some oats. So when I first started, I used to weigh everything out. I don't do that anymore. But if you are just getting started, you definitely should. Then we grab some Greek yogurt, which is a great source of lean protein. Then I put some creatine in here. Because the thing about creatine is that you have to take it every single day for it to work. It's not something you take before you work out or after you work out. Every single day, because it's all about muscle saturation. So you have to be consistent with it. And for me, the easiest way to make it consistent is to just include it in my breakfast and eat it every single day. Then we add some protein powder. Then we need some fruit. So for me, it's going to be, first of all, banana. And then we add some blueberries. First of all, because I love blueberries, and second, because they're frozen, so it's going to make the smoothie cold. And then I top it off with water. Put it in the blender, and it's done. All right, so before I continue with the rest of the story. We're gonna go to the gym, get a good workout in. Let me go up and change, and then I'll take you guys with me. All right, so as I'm getting ready for the gym, I can show you the bedroom, which is the room that we're in right now. This is my bedroom. Still missing a bit of furniture. I still have to, get a new desk, nightstand, so it's pretty empty, but the room itself is really cool. You have these big windows here. And the bathroom, which I will show you in a bit, it has a view as well, so it's super nice. So this is the bathroom. We can't really see it right now because it's very bright, but normally it's a really beautiful view. So you can sit in the bathtub and you have the view, which I've literally never done. I never take a bath. So to be really honest with you, it is kind of like my laundry basket. Adios.
You don't know how to talk and drive?
See? You missed that one. If it wasn't for me, we'd be dead right now. Oh, shit. So I came here when I was 19 years old as part of my university program. I had to do an internship. So I did that in San Francisco. And at that time I was broke as hell. I had nothing. So I was living with 12 roommates, 6 people in 2 bedrooms, spread over 2 bedrooms. So it was like 3 bunk beds in there. It was very tight. It was definitely not ideal. But people warned me for that already, before I left. Oh, San Francisco's expensive. It's going to be rough. But I was very young, very naive, and I thought everything was going to be fine. And in the end, I fixed that. I was able to get by because I started modeling. So my barber at the time, he recruited me for a modeling agency, which I signed with. And to be honest, I never thought I would do something like that. And I also didn't really see how that fit into my idea of, starting a business, the American dream, so it made me very uncomfortable. But I have to be honest, it helped me a lot, and turned out to be a really good experience. So that's kind of like what got me started. And then you might wonder, well, how the hell did you end up staying here? Are you illegal? Should I call immigration? But no, I do actually have a passport now. And that was because I married the girl that I was dating towards the end of my student visa, which was pretty crazy because we had only just met. So it was a big risk for both of us. But it was kind of like the only way we could, try and see if we could make this work. So yeah, she actually helped me a lot. We didn't end up staying together, but she's great. And, to be honest, the fact that I can live my life here now is for a large part due to her. So I will always be grateful for that. All right, guys, we just got to the gym. Today we're gonna do back and biceps, which is not something I typically do. It's not a split that I normally do, but this week it just works out that way. So we're gonna start off with the bend over row. I'm gonna do the exercise. After that, I'll talk a little bit more about the things that I pay attention to. So the bend over row is a little bit misleading because it says bend over, and the last thing you wanna do is actually bend over because that's how you're gonna get back problems. So what you see a lot of people do, they'll grab the bar and their back starts to roll kind of like a turtle, like this. And that's what you wanna try to avoid. So the only thing you should be thinking about when you lift up the bar is pushing your hips back. And what you'll see as a result of that is that your back is going to stay straight and it's going to stay stable. So that's what that looks like. So this is my starting position, and I just push my hips back like that. Now I can lift it up, bring it towards my belly button. And then what you really want to do is try to maximize the stretch and maximize the contraction. Pause and hold for about 2 seconds, and then slow down the negatives. Pause and hold, slow down the negatives. So with the bend over row, you essentially have 2 options in terms of grip. You can do a overhand grip, you can do an underhand grip. The difference is just that it targets a different part of your back. My favorite is the overhand grip, so what I typically do is 4 sets of 12 with an overhand grip, and then I'll do a 5th set towards the end with an underhand grip till failure. I'm gonna get into my workout now, but if you think this is interesting and you wanna have more in-depth fitness tips, just comment below and I'll make that kind of content. I'm completely new to this, so I'll leave it up to you guys what you wanna see, and I'll be happy to create that. All right, we're back at the house. Let's have a quick post-workout meal, and then I can show you what I typically eat like 90% of the time, which is always the same. Also, by the way, check out this window. That's one of my favorite parts of the house. You can do it with this one and also with the one in the living room. And now everything's just open. I love that. But let's go to the meal prep. So, so this is what my meal prep looks like. Very simple, very boring as well. This time it's turkey, quinoa, and broccoli, but I switch it up, right? So I switch the veggies. This could be asparagus, could be green beans, as long as it's green, it's usually fine. Then the quinoa, I switch with sweet potato, sometimes brown rice. Sweet potato is my favorite, but just pain in the butt to make. And this is turkey breast, but could also be chicken, could be steak, could be beef. Steak and beef typically, in the winter, in the summer when I'm trying to stay very lean, I'll go for the lower calorie options, which is turkey or chicken. But yeah, that is pretty much it. And the thing about this is that it's just so simple, right? So I do it on Wednesday and on Sunday, typically. So on Sunday I will cook for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, eat the same things. Then on Wednesday I would cook for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Did I say that right? I think so. But pretty much 2 meal prep sessions. And it takes me about 30 minutes each, right? Well, let's say 45. 30 minutes to cook, 15 minutes to pack it all up. It takes me about 45 minutes. So in 90 minutes per week, it just takes care of all of my nutrition needs, right? Can't beat that. So you might look at this and think, Marco, that is boring as hell, which is true. And my clients don't eat like this, right? I don't expect that from my clients. My clients have delicious meal plans with lots of variety, lots of different things on there. But for me, for myself right now, I'm beyond the point where I care about flavor, right? When I eat for purpose. I think about, okay, what is this gonna do to my body, to the way it looks, to the way it feels? That's what I care about. Plus, that combined with the fact that I really do not enjoy cooking. I don't like spending time in the kitchen. For me, it needs to have a purpose, it needs to be fast, it needs to be efficient, and then I'm happy, right? I don't have to think about it. And I honestly think that anyone with ambition, whether you're a business owner, whether you have a very demanding job, it is really the only way, right? You can choose to either, spend a ton of time on your career and make the nutrition part very efficient, or you can choose to be, spending a lot of time on your career and let the nutrition part slide and be out of shape. But if you want to be successful and you want to have a great body, it's the only option, right? You only have 24 hours in a day. This is the way to do it. Now, you don't have to make it as boring as me, but you do have to have a system that can make it very time efficient. One thing I forgot, by the way, because I don't eat it this plain, I do add things. So let me grab what I add. So of course, if it's just going to be plain turkey, plain quinoa, it's going to be very hard to get down. So I would use ketchup, which 20 calories, probably one of the lowest calorie sauces you can use. Then I also use cottage cheese, especially with beef. I think this is really good. Very good source of protein. We're looking at 90 calories, 11 grams of protein. So I add this to my meals as well. And then I would get these mini tomatoes at Costco. I just slice them up a little bit and throw them in with the turkey. So then if you have that meal with cottage cheese, with a bit of ketchup and with the tomatoes, actually it tastes pretty good. All right, so let me finish this meal. Then we'll go upstairs, take a shower, and we'll get back to the story. Back to the story. My first few years in LA were a struggle. I hated it. I didn't like the people, didn't like the culture. I had a really difficult time. At the time, I probably started like 5 businesses that all just completely failed, which really sucked. I took a job in finance at an investment company in the city, which I also really didn't like. But during those years, that is when I worked during the daytime, and in the evening, I would work on my online coaching business. And that was kind of like the turning point for me. So I think what a lot of people don't understand is that it can be very lucrative to have a coaching business. If you know how to change lives, if you know how to get people results, and you know how to market, sell, and scale a business, then it can be very lucrative. So for me, it was a turning point in the sense of being able to get a Mercedes AMG that I always wanted, upgrade to nice apartments, help my family back home. So that was great. But that is not how I got into this house. So this house is actually a corporate lease for another business. And no, it's not OnlyFans. So the other business is a business in which we manufacture and sell construction goods. So doors, windows, cabinets. And that was actually not my idea. That was the idea of Matt. And Matt was a former client of mine who I developed a close friendship with. And he was in LA one time and we met up for lunch. He told me about the idea that he had, which I later ended up joining. So that's something I'm super grateful for. Not only is Matt a great guy, but he's also extremely intelligent and I learned a lot from him. And I feel like that can really be the turning point. You know, to surround yourself with people like that you can learn from, that inspire you, has been very important to me. And especially in cities like LA, you know, temptations are huge. You have so many temptations all around you. So who you spend your time with and what you do with your time can be decisive. So in this business, the orders are pretty large. You know, we're not talking about 1 or 2 windows here. These are massive orders, you know, custom made windows, apartment buildings, commercial buildings, luxury residences. So they're big orders. And when it comes to big orders, people typically want to see the product first, especially when dealing with, you know, a relatively unknown company such as ours. So we had a showroom up in the north. We did not have one in the south, in SoCal, and we wanted to expand to the south, to Los Angeles and, you know, the surrounding areas. So in order for us to do that, we would need a showroom, right? So if you know anything about LA real estate, you know that, you know, if you want to have a piece of real estate in a decent location that people actually want to show up to, it's going to cost a fortune, right? So at that time, Matt would come to LA every 2 weeks, you know, with travel expenses, hotel expenses, etc. And I would have my apartment in LA, which, you know, as I told you before, you know, it costs a fortune. So then we were thinking, what if we would just get a really nice house here so that Matt would have a place to stay for when he comes to LA and I would have a place to live permanently. And then inside that house, we would build a showroom. So altogether, of course, it's not a cheap house, but if you consider all of these factors, it's actually a lot more affordable for us to get this house as opposed to doing everything separately. All right, so in these boxes are the first pieces of the showroom. They haven't been unpacked yet, but I'm gonna show you where we're gonna put them. So in the downstairs area here, we have 2 bedrooms. They're supposed to be guest bedrooms, but one of the guest bedrooms we're gonna turn into a showroom. This room right here is one of the guest bedrooms. Right now there's a bed here. We're gonna remove that bed. We're gonna put the bed in the other room and the showroom is going to be built here. So we have a nice little view here. This is the second bedroom. The bed is gonna go here. This will be the guest bedroom. And then we're gonna use the other one for a showroom. There's some workout equipment in here. Was already there. Never really use it. I don't like cardio. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed my first video. I'm really hoping to provide value through this channel, whether it be health, fitness, entrepreneurship, you name it. You can expect some vlog style videos showing you a little bit more about my lifestyle, you know, a bit more entertaining videos, but I also want to make health and fitness related videos that are more educational, that can hopefully teach you guys a couple new things. But, you know, I'm open for suggestions as well, since, you know, I'm brand new to this, so I don't really know what to make. So if you're watching this and you have any ideas or specific things that you really want to see, comment it below, let me know, and I would be more than happy to make it for you. I want to bring you guys on my journey and share my perspective on what it takes to be a high value man in a modern day world. See you next week.